Hi guys, today we're gonna be looking at the new Chicago Bears Stadium. Just some of my thoughts and opinions on this new stadium. I have watched this video before. It looks pretty cool. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts and my opinions and hear some of yours. That doesn't seem like a big deal, but it kind of is. The Bears are such a historical team. They've been playing the NFL for probably, besides the Packers, maybe the Cardinals, the Giants probably the most in the entire NFL. So it makes sense that they would probably have one of the best stadiums too, especially with how good the other teams in their division, how good their stadiums are. You think about the Lions, the Packers, Vikings, all have great stadiums. The Bears have a good one too. It just definitely needs some improvements if they ever want to host a Super Bowl or other big events like that. And if I go back here, hold on. That's not it, but basically what it just said, you're going to see it right here. It says to reimagine a historic site, and that, at least in my opinion, means they're just upgrading Soldier Field. So they're not completely redoing the stadium. They're just fixing it up, making it better, just improving it, upgrading it, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that's honestly better. I like that idea because Soldier Field is so historic. And it's not a bad stadium. It just definitely needs some improvements if it wants to ever host some of those big events. Like Chicago's never hosted a Super Bowl, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, considering I believe it's the third largest city in the country. It's either them or Houston. I think it's Chicago, though. So definitely makes sense that they're kind of building this new stadium, but also keeping Soldier Field alive, at least from what this says. And in the video, it also kind of looks like it. And I think it'll show it. Yeah, right there, it also kind of shows that. The stadium also seems to be very involved in the community. It should show that some more too. Here's another thing I noticed. So this definitely looks like the place where Soldier Field was. And I think if it moves a little bit more, yeah, that just gives. Actually, I think it shows Soldier Field right there. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it is Soldier Field. So I'm pretty sure it's like right next to it, or it's like just building or upgrading it. One of those two. It's kind of that same area though. That's what I have noticed so far. And yeah, it says it right there. Very focused on the community. You can see some parks, some things like that. There's a lot of other things there. Looks like some restaurants or things like that. Kind of in this area, a baseball field, some soccer fields. Definitely has a big focus on the community, at least from what I can tell. Yeah, again, just more community involvement, which is really nice to see, especially in these modern stadiums. Yeah, there's more involvement in the community. Seems to be a big part of this project. Then here's a thing I really like. It's not like a specific addition or anything. It's just how it looks in the winter. I just think it looks cool. You can see like they have some ice skating. It looks like things of that nature going on here. Yeah. So first thing I noticed, at least, is it looks incredibly similar to the Raider Stadium and also to the new Titan Stadium. If you've seen that, they look very similar. The American and Chicago flags, I think that's a nice little addition. You can also see the jerseys kind of next to them. But like I said, it just looks very, very similar to the Raider Stadium. And we'll show it in a second. There's like a window that is very big. I think it's actually bigger than the ones in the Raider Stadium. And they should show that. So you'll see right there. You can see kind of the buildings in Chicago right there. It's very, very similar to the Las Vegas one. And yeah, you can kind of see some more of the stadium here. Like I said, very, very similar to the Raiders Stadium and the new Titan Stadium. Also a little bit of the Rams and Chargers Stadium too. All those kind of new stadiums. Even the new Jaguars one, kind of the same. And then it shows it right here, Final Four. And that's something Chicago would definitely probably do a great job hosting, especially their history of basketball in the city. Michael Jordan, the Bulls, all that basketball history in the city. It would just make sense, especially in such a great stadium like this. I could definitely see it happening if it does end up happening, which it probably will. But nothing's officially confirmed. Big Ten Championship, another event, which I believe right now is in Indianapolis, but I could easily see it getting moved to Chicago if this actually does get approved, which at this point it probably will. But no guarantees. But if it did, it almost certainly would. You would see the Big Ten Championship at least like once or twice get played in Chicago. It would just make sense. Same thing with Nashville and the SEC Championship. Just makes sense. Soccer, another one. If I go back a little bit, show you right there. Just a little bit of a note. I do not believe, at least from my knowledge, that Chicago will host a World Cup game in 2026, which doesn't seem like a big deal. But considering Chicago is the third largest city in the United States, it kind of is if you really think about it. And I don't know if that's exactly because of their stadium. It's probably like, I don't know. I don't really know why. But I'm sure their stadium could be part of it. They want a more modern stadium to host the games in, like Los Angeles, for example, or even New York. So I just find it interesting now that this can probably allow them to host some of those big international soccer games or things like that. Probably not the World Cup because it's probably not going to be finished by then, but in the future, definitely. Concerts. Here's the big one, the Super Bowl. Like I said, Chicago's not hosted a Super Bowl, and which is also kind of crazy. Because if you think about it, even New York, gets cold in the winter. Los Angeles also gets, Los Angeles is warm. But Houston also hosted a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls. And those are the three largest cities they all have. So it's kind of crazy that they all have and Chicago's not. And all those kind of big cities have. Even a city like Detroit has, Minneapolis has, and those are two also Midwest cities. So the fact that Chicago hasn't is kind of interesting, and this should get Chicago one finally. Here's the last, or maybe not last, but here's another thing I want to talk about. These stairs. I just find these kind of cool. I don't know what exactly they're for. I don't know if they have any specific connection to the Bears or the history of Chicago. I don't think they do, but I just like this little addition here. I think it's a nice little connection to the actual stadium and the whole development around it. So. Some more community stuff. These are really nice. That is really pretty. That's really beautiful. You can see all Chicago in the stadium right there. That's really nice. So like I said, there's no guarantees this will actually happen, but if it does, I think it's a really cool idea, a really cool plan the Bears have, especially with their future, what it's looking like. They got Caleb Williams, just drafted him. That could be really good for them. They could be winning a lot more. And so it just makes sense they're building this now. They probably want to get this done as fast as possible because they're going to probably be in some playoff games. And they probably do want to host the Super Bowl as quickly as possible. Whether that's in the late 2020s or late 2030s, I don't know. But they definitely want to get this probably done as fast as possible. Obviously, they got to find a way to pay for it, which I don't know how that's going to work exactly. I'm sure they will figure it out some way. But yeah, just look cool. Alright, then that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.